ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णा पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य कलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 29, verse number 41. This is the last sloka of Pranagit, the song of divine love sung by the gopis. So we read how they are pleading to Krishna to accept them as servants, and in the last verse they said that who would not be attracted to his beauty, or to speak of human beings, even cows, birds and trees, they manifest symptoms of love by seeing him. So Trailokya Saubhagam idam cha niriksha rupam yad godis dhrum mraga palkanya bibhran. Bibhran is Bibharu. See Narayan Vetibhya an os. That was what he was saying. So, in the last sloka, they say, Vyaktam bhavan vraj bhayarti haro bhijato devo yathadi purusha suraloka gopta tanno nidehi kar pankajamarta bandho tapta staneshu cha sirassu cha kinkarinam. So earlier it was said that he is like Narayana. So now they are saying that since you are like Narayana.
Baba, did we do 40?
Yeah. We didn't do it, we did it.
Because the last one that we posted on Friday was 39.
39 and 40?
No, we didn't.
We did both. Achha.
So he said that you are like Narayana, you have manifested here to remove the distress and fear of the Vraja. Because Krishna has done that. He protected the Vrajvasis from different calamities. The latest one was the Govardhan lifting to protect from Indra's rain and hailstorm. So he said, just like Adi Purusha Narayana, he is Suraloka Gupta, he protects the Devas. So you also are for protecting us, this is for sure. And that's why he should also remove our distress. Because they are saying, Vraj Bhaya Arti Haro Bhijata. So we are suffering. So in Sanskrit, suffering is also called tapa. Tapa means also heat, and also means suffering. Three tapa, three types of suffering are called three tapa, means three suffering. Adhidevik, adhibhautik, adhyatmika. So therefore they are saying that we are suffering from separation. So it says tapta staneshu cha sirassu cha kinkarinam. Therefore put your cooling hand. Lotus is supposed to cool. So it says your lotus hand you can put on our breast and our head, because you are Artha Bandhu. You are the friend of the distressed. Is that really true? That he is the friend of the distressed? Then he should be friend of everybody here in the material world, right? But anyway, he says, Chaturvida bhajante mam, jana sukritina arjuna, artha jigyasu artharthi. Which means you have to do bhajan for him, not that he is just going to be your friend like that. So he says, Tanno nidehi karapankaja artha bandho taptastaneshu cha shirassu cha kinkarinam. So please remove our distress. So this of course again may look like that how the devotee can pray then like this. Because in devotion we say that devotee does not want anything. Anyabhilashata sunyam. Right? So then why are they praying like this and calling him Artha Bandhu? So their distress is for not doing seva, not being able to do service. That is their distress. In here you become distressful if you are given seva. So they are distressful because they are unable to do seva, because he says go back. Why have you come here? So that is their distress, because their life is seva only. There is nothing else they want to do. That's why they say Yame katham brajavat karvame kimva. How can we go back to Braja and what will we do? Means if you don't do seva, what else will you do? Cannot do anything else. So that is the meaning of this. And of course it is put like in a sahityik manner. So it appears as if there was a great need for them to be with Krishna, to associate with him. But The need is actually to serve Him. So this is what Uttama Bhakti means. The life of Uttama Bhakti is Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. And that Anusilan is done with everything. Mind, body, speech, possessions, everything. So this is what is shown here in this song. It's very important to understand the implied sense of this song. That this is what actually is a commentary on the definition of Uttama Bhakti. What does it really mean? Anyabhilashakta sunyam. What does it mean? Gyan karma dhyānavritam and anukulyena Krishna anusilanam. So this is what is the implied sense of all these prayers. Although they look like as if a young girl wants to be with young boy, or the gopis want to be with Krishna. But that is the sense. So their distress cannot be removed by anyone else, because the distress is not being able to do seva. So now the commentary by Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says, Tasmadalam chaturi prapanchanena muncha abhittham ityahu. So now the gopis are saying that give up your cleverness and show your true color. Because Krishna was hiding. Remember in the beginning he said that I will hide my mood and I will act like a dakshina and keep my vamya bhav. So they are saying that give up your avhitha. Avhitha means the hidden mood. So this is also one of the sanchari bhav, avhitha, where you hide. So vyaktam natu kutrapi etadakhyanam guptam ityarth. So he says that vyaktam bhavan vraj bhayarti haro bhijata. So he says it is explicit. Vyaktam means known. It is explicit, it's not hidden. What is that not hidden? That Krishna has appeared to take away the distress of fear, to take away the fear and distress of the Brajvasis. Braj bhaya arti haro bhijata. So they also said earlier that Nitya priya pati sutadibhir arti daikim. Remember they said that what is the use of being with husband and children, pati sutadibhi, which only give distress. Now they are saying that he is the remover of the distress. So what is the significance? That keep us away from all this bondage, all these attachments. This is the simple idea. Because they call them all these relations which people are very much happy to have. Family bondage. So, sambandhanubandho munerapi sudastyaja. The bondage of family is very difficult to give up even for great sages. Even Vyasa, he was also trying to get his son back. Putra iti tanmayata tarvo bhinedu tam sarvabhut hirdayam munyanatosmi. So that very bondage they are saying is only the source of trouble. Arti dahikim. So what is our advantage of having this relation? And he is being addressed here as Arti Hara. So they are saying that this is known. Why are you trying to hide it? Which means that take away our distress. So he says this is not hidden to anybody. Kintat, what is that? What is it known? He says Bhavan Vrajasya ad bhayam Davanaladibhya Arti Pidacha Varshvatadibhyaste Harati iti. So he says whatever are the causes of fear for Vraja people, such as forest fire or some other distressful situation like rain, heavy wind sent by Indra, so you take away that. So then you should also take away our distress. So Vrajajana Artihara iti api patha. There is also reading Vrajajana Artihara instead of Vrajabhaya Artihara. So meaning is same. So Abhijata. So not only Jata, not that you are only born, but you are Abhijata. So Abhijata means Sarvato Bhavena Nandagrihe Jato Yatha Narayaniti Sarvaloke Udghashyate. So Yatha Devo Adi Purusho. So Yatha Adi Purusha Deva. In the first sloka also they said the same word, Devo Yatha Adi Purusha Mumuksham. Here also they are saying Devo Yatha Adi Purusha Surloka Gopta. So there they said that just like the Adi Purusha Narayana takes away the distress of those who desire freedom from this material world, Mumukshu. Here they are saying of the Devas, whenever Indra has problem, then Vishnu comes to help. Churning of the milky ocean or becoming Vamana to get the kingdom from Bali Maharaj. So it is well known that you have appeared now here in the house of Nanda Maharaj. So Abhi means in complete form. Means you are Swam Bhagavan. You are not some partial manifestation. Adyadi Shatkoti Sankhya Eta Gopyo Marishyanti Tada Vrajajananam Etat Pitradinam Arti Katham Eka Devaita Van Madhya Mrita iti Ekda Evata Man Madhya Mrita iti Bhayam Cha Bhuishyati iti Bhava. So what is the significance here saying Vrajajana Artihara or Vrajbhaya Artihara? He says that we are how many? 1 billion gopis here? 100. 1 koti is 10 million and 100 koti is 1000 million. 1000 million is 1 billion, right? So 1 billion gopis were there. Can you imagine that? Now the population of the earth is 7 billion. So out of that 1 billion were here. If you pack them up in the whole Vraja, may not be enough space. So where did they dance? So he says that all these 1 billion gopis will die if you don't accept. And then what will happen? All the Vrajjana, the people of Vraja, their parents, their husbands, brothers, they will become very distressed. And then they will become fearful also that how is that all of them died here in the forest at the same time? So there must be something, some poison or gas, right? If so many people die suddenly in one place, people have to think, how did they die? And they will do some autopsy, etc. They won't find anything. Right? There is no sign of any poison or any burning. But they will get into more fear. Because once you know the cause, at least you know that, okay, this is the cause. When you don't know, then you are worrying, what is the cause? So therefore it says, Vraj Bhaya Artihara. That don't do this, don't bring death to so many ladies. Tarhi kim abhipshitam va. So then Krishna asks, so then what do you want from me? So tatrahu tat tasmat he artha bandhu. So then they are saying that tanno nidehi karpankajam artha bandhu. That all we need is your hand. So bless us and put your hand on our head. So tasmat he artha bandhu asmakam taptastaneshu karpankajam arpaya. So please put your lotus hand on your or our breast. So Krishna says, but your breast, you said they are tapta. Because gopis themselves are saying tapta staneshu, that breasts which are burning. So he said, then my hand will burn. Right? If you put your hand on something burning, the hand will also burn, and especially my hand is lotus hand. because you yourself are saying Kar Pankaja Mahartivan. So therefore he says that Tarhi Mridulam Etan Me Jwalishyati. He says my hand is very soft. So if I put it, it will burn. Gopis also say this later on in the Gopi Gita, remember? They say that we fear to put your hand on our breast. Yatte sujat charnam buruham staneshu bhita. They say they about feet. That their Krishna's feet are so soft that gopis fear to put them on their breast, maybe they get hurt. So if feet are so soft, what to speak of hands? Hands are softer than feet, right? You're walking on the foot or feet, they become hard. Especially Krishna is walking barefoot. So his feet are still so tender. So what to speak of his hands, how tender they are. So he is worried that the hands will get burned. So he says, so then gopis have a solution for that. So what is the solution? He says, Kinkarinam. He says, because we are your servants. So what is that? Tvat paricharika nam asmakam taptau api etau tat paricharya sadhano eva. He says, because we are your servants, so these are heart also for your seva. And therefore don't worry. So these are the means for service. Pankajasya api suryodas tapo na tapakah pratyut sukhdayeva. So heat comes from the sun and lotus blooms when the sun rises. So they are saying that the heat of the sun makes the lotus bloom. At night when the sun heat is not there, then lotus closes. So it says, don't worry, your hand or lotus hand, so they will actually feel happy. So the significance here is that gopis, whatever they have, it is only for doing service to Krishna and to give pleasure to him. That is the significance. So it is not that they have their own interest or they want to enjoy. They do not have any trace of any self-enjoyment. Their only wish is to do service to Krishna. And therefore, even their body is like that. That every part, every limb of their body is for Krishna's pleasure. That is the significance. Because their life is only for that. As they will say later on that our life is you. Without that they cannot live. So this is the meaning of prema. This is the oneness in prema, Prema-dvaita. Because oneness of Advaitavad, Keval Advaitavad, there is nothing, there is no beauty in that. There is no Ananda. What is the Ananda if you become Brahman? So it's like the ant is walking into the honey and gets stuck in the honey. So then does the ant enjoy the honey when it gets stuck in the honey? The enjoyment of honey is if ant remains separate from the honey. But if the ant also becomes honey, then what is the enjoyment in that? So becoming Aham Brahmasmi. So what is the enjoyment? There is no one to enjoy and there is nothing to enjoy. And this also people want. If you really think, what can be more inauspicious than that? Because your whole identity is lost. It's not really lost, but for all practical purposes. Because nothing can happen to Jiva. But if it gets identified, then it's just like ants sticking into the honey. And cannot move and loses its life. So that is the situation. So this is the difference between prema. That's why the statements in Bhāgavatam and Upanishads, where they seem like Advaitavad, they are not Advaitavad of that type. That is the meaning Jiva Goswami gives of Tattvamasi in Priti Sandarbha. He said Tattvamasi means it is a statement made in love, that, you are one in love. So there is no need to think that it is Tasya Tvamasi, Tasmat Tvamasi. Madhvacharya makes different. Tasmin Tvamasi, he gives different meaning, breaking the samas. He also makes it Atatvamasi, because before that there is a Shvet Keto, Tattvamasi. So you break the sandhi, it becomes Shvet Keto, Atatvamasi. You are not Tattva. So Jiva Goswami is giving completely different, a unique explanation to that. So that is depicted in the life of gopis, that how they identify with Krishna and yet they have their own existence. So they are the ashraya of prema and Krishna is the vishaya of their prema. So they are separate, but because of the prema they are one, because the prema is the bondage which binds them together. Like you have seen the, what is that? Dal, this has two parts sticking together. Right? Chickpea. You have seen chickpea? So it has a covering. Inside there are two parts. So it is one unit, but there are two inside. It is called two in one. So this is the meaning of prema, two in one. That is one unit. If you take the chickpea, it goes together wherever it goes. You cannot take one part and leave the other part unless you break it. So this is Tattvamasi of Bhāgavatam. So he says, Pankajasyapi Suryodaya Tapo na Tapakaha. He says, lotus flower does not become withered by the heat of the sun, rather it expands. So like that, the heat of her breast will give you pleasure and not burn your hand. And then they say, Sirasucha iti atah param vo matyag bhayam mastu iti gyapaitu. And then they are saying that you also put your hand on our head. So why they are saying put your hand on the head? So he says this is to give us your word that now you will never leave us. So in India this is a custom. When they take like an oath, so they say I take oath by putting my hand on your head. So somebody who is very dear, then you put the hand on that. Like it in the court, you take an oath by putting your hand on Bhagavad Gita in India. So that is meaning for Hindus, Bhagavad Gita is very respectable. Means now this person takes oath, it is expected that he is not going to tell lies, because that means he doesn't care for Bhagavad Gita. That is the idea. Or you take Ganga, water of Ganga in your hand and then take oath. So that is to signify something which is very respectable to me, which is very dear to me. I take oath in the name of that person, means I will not go against that person, because if I tell lies, that means I do not care for that. So that is the significance, that you put your hand on our head. So matyag bhayam mastu iti gyapetum. So this is to tell us that we will never have any fear that you will abandon us. So of course he left and he went to Mathura. So that is, they want a promise that I'm not going anywhere. So this is the end of their Pranay Geet. This is the last verse. And now Sukadeva Goswami will describe Rāsa-līlā. So any question on this before we move to the next part? So Sri Shuka Uvacha Iti Viklavitam Tasam Shrutva Yogeshwareshwara Prahasya Sadayam Gopir Atma Ramo Pyari Ramat. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami said that Sri Krishna, who is Yogeshwar Ishwar, who is the Ishwara, the master of Yogeshwaras. So generally Lord Shiva is called Yogeshwara and he is Yogeshwara Ishwara. So he is the master of the yogas. After hearing their distressful words, then he smiled out of compassion. So there is compassion and there is smile, because he was not really speaking from his heart that they should go. He wanted to see. The whole idea is to show the heart of the gopis. That is the whole purpose behind this. This is Vyasa's pedagogical technique, that he wanted us to see where does the heart of gopis lie. So he devised this technique and show that. So Krishna was not really telling them to go, although it appeared like that and we saw that. So he wanted to bring out their feeling of love and then express it like this. So says that after hearing this, then he smiled. So he smiled because his wish was fulfilled. He wanted to hear from their mouth, and then he became Sadayam, he became very compassionate. And then although he is Atma Rama, he enjoyed with them, he played with them. So again these two words are very important here to remind us, because our tendency is to impose our material experience onto Krishna's activities. Because what he describes sounds like just a material union between boy and girl. So therefore he says he is Yogeshwareshwara and he is Atmarama. Atmarama means he is completely satisfied in himself and has no need. Yet he also Ariramat. He also relished playing with them. So that also shows the greatness of gopis and greatness of bhakti. That it is only bhakti which captures his heart. Otherwise he is Atmaram. But bhakti captures or melts his heart, and then he is no more Atmaram. Otherwise this seems paradoxical. How can Atmarama do something to enjoy? He is full. So it's like you are absolutely full your stomach and then you start cooking for yourself. Why are you cooking? You don't want to cook when you are absolutely full. So that is the significance, that how great is this love, that even Krishna, who is completely happy with himself, he relished the company of the gopis because they are such great devotees. Purushottam Prabhu, you have something?
The last words in commentary, he said, avahittha. What is the meaning of avahita?
Hidden.
Hidden. Okay. Then,
So it sounds like hidden, isn't it? Hittha. Ava is an upsarga and hittha is to hide, hidden. So Viklavitam is commenting on the word Viklavitam. Vaikallavya Vyanjakam Vakyam Shrutva. So after hearing their statements of distress or dismay or a little bit of frustration, fear, Viklava has all these things. So Tachravnena Swabhilasham Puritva. So by hearing that, he says that his wish, his desire was fulfilled. Prahasya. So why is he laughing? He says, Aho bhavatya yuyam pratidinameva milana samaye vamyam aparam kurudhve eva. So Krishna is saying, just see how wonderful it is. You are all full of love for me, bhavatya. And every day when we meet, you are always hiding your feelings. You don't express them. So every day you do that. And I did it once. And look how much you are in distress. So aham tu ekasmin eva dine adyeva avhithaya yat kinchid vamyam akarvam tadapi dakshinya garbham eva. So he says, I did it only one time, today only, never before. And that that also was not really my Vamya Bhav, but inside was Dakshinya Garbham eva. Because his statements, remember, were double meaning. Go, don't go, go, don't go, go, don't go. Every sentence had that meaning. So he says it was not even pure Vamya, but Dakshinya Garbham means within my statements was the meaning of just the opposite, that you should stay here, not go. So that itself caused so much trouble to you. So now you can understand how great I am. So therefore he says that Tenapi etavad vaikalya vatyo lajjaya shraddham kritvatyo mam hashyadve. So he said, just by that little bit of my Vamya behavior, you became so much distressful that you do the Shraddha ceremony for your lajja, for your shyness. Means you did not remain shy at all, you are openly saying, put your hand on her breast, and sinchanga yadharamritam. All this openly you are saying it. So means you have actually done the Shraddha ceremony. Shraddha ceremony is done when somebody dies. Then you do on 13th day. So it's like your lajja, your shyness, your modesty is completely dead, and you have done the Shraddha for that. Just see. That's why I am laughing. So this is the reason of my laughing. Hashyadve. You have made me laugh. Mam Hashyadve means that you are making me laugh. All of you. I am laughing at you. Tasmat yusmat pratyahika avhitha sindhu chulki karan chanchuna maya eva jita stha. So he says that your avhitha, you try to hide your bhav. Every day you come and meet, then you are hiding your bhav. So he says, you are so many of them, and your bhav which you hide is like an ocean. And I turned it into a palm full of water and drank it with a beak. Sindhu chulaki karana chanchuna. This as if my hand itself is like a little beak, and I put it like Shivji drank all the poison, put it in hand and he drank it. Or like, who is that? Agastya Muni drank the ocean. Like that. So he says, I have drank that. So bho subuddhi sekhar manya jitastha tat swayameva agatya pratibandhak lajja dhrityadi abhavat matkanthe kanakmani malayita bhutva swadhar sudha payata. So now Krishna, as if he is going to the other extreme, means he is expressing his dakshinatva bhava, means he is speaking openly. So he says, therefore you who are the most smartest of the smart, you have been conquered by me, jitastha. Therefore what you have to do now, because I conquered you, so this is what you have to do. Now you yourself come and pratibandhak lajja bhrityadi bhavat. So give up all your obstacles in the form of modesty, shyness, fortitude, etc. He says, drop all that and come and embrace me, just like as if you are a golden garland in my neck. Kanak mani malita bhutva swadhar sudha payata, and make me drink the nectar of your lips. Chirad udbhuta mahatrishno asmi, and because I am thirsty for a long time for this. Parihasya san, so this is how he is smiling or he is laughing. Aya subhavaho vidhiryat yatra tatsasneham va. So this sadayam is making a different meaning. Sadayam means with compassion. He is making it as sat and aya. And aya means subhavaha, and that which is carrier of auspiciousness. San aya. Aya is a dhatu. Ayati, ayata, ayanti, ayagatam. And sun is auspiciousness. Sat. Sat aya. So parihasya san aya subhavaho vidhiryatra tatsasneham va. So with great affection, yatha syat tatha atma ramo pita gopaha gopastri ramayamasa. So he says that although he is Atma Rama, then he relished the company of the cowherd women. Ittham bhut premano gopastriyati. So he says this is the power, the greatness of the love of the gopis. What is the power? He explains. He says Atma Ramascha Muniya Nirgranthapi urukrame kurvanti ahetkim bhakti mittham bhut gunohari. So what he's saying is that Atma Ramas are those who are completely free from any desire. Atma Rama sages like Sukadeva Goswami, Kumaras, they are called Atma Ramas. And they are Nirgrantha, they have no attachment, no bondage, no rules bind them. But even they perform bhakti for Krishna. So how great is Krishna that Atma Ramas, they give up their Atma Ramatva, their characteristic of being Atma Rama, and they become attracted to Krishna and do bhakti to him. Abhi ajit ruchir lila krishna sarastadhim. So swasuk nibrit cheta. So Sukadeva Goswami is an ideal example of that. He was completely absorbed in Brahma Sukha, but he became attracted by the beauty, by the activities, by the Leela of Krishna, and he gave up his Brahmatva or Atma Ramatva. So Nitya Vishnu Janpriya became dear to Vishnu Jana. devotees. So that is the greatness of Krishna. And greatness of gopis is that Krishna who attracts Atma Rama, he is attracted to the gopis. So that's why he says that Itham Bhuta Premano Gopyastriya. That these gopis are such that they have prema which is so powerful that Krishna who attracts even the Atma Ramas, he becomes attracted to them. So what to speak of these Atma Ramas? So that's why Uddhava sang songs about them. Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarenam Abhikshanas. So itivat gopinam tadiya swarupa bhuta aladhani shakti vrittitvat. So why? Because these gopis are manifestations of Krishna's Ladhani Shakti, his pleasure potency, which is his own Swarupa, which is part of his own Swarupa, and therefore he is attracted to them. Tapi Atmana iti Atma bhutabhistabhi ramanam sambhavati eva. So therefore they are Atmarama and Ariramat. It is with them that Atmaramopi Ariramat. Atmanam iti Atma bhutabhistabhi ramanam. So they are his own Atma, and with them he enjoyed. So basically he is enjoying with his own pleasure potency. So yadyapi na cha sankarshano nashrir naiv atma cha yatha bhavan iti naham atmanam ashashay mad bhakti sadhu virvina shriyam cha atyantikam brahman yesham gati aham para. So all this statement ityadi bhagavadukta istasya satmatopi bhaktanam anand pradaktva avgamat आसाम च गोपीनाम सर्वभक्त शिरोमणित्वाद आत्मारामस्य अपि तस्य आनंदाधिक्य अर्थमेव एताभिरमणमिति के. So although Krishna has said to Uddhava that even Balram, even Lakshmi, even my own self is not as dear to me as you are dear to me. He's telling this to Uddhava. And then he also told this to Durvasa that I don't want my own self without my devotees, and I don't want even Sri, because these devotees hold me as their very life, so they are very dear to me. But here these are statements of Bhagavan Tasya Satmato Api. But in case of gopis, these gopis are superior to even all these bhaktas. Bhaktanam ananda pradattva adhikya avgamat. So although from these statements it is understood that devotees give pleasure to Krishna more than his own self. Self is most dear to everybody, and then Krishna is dear because he is the self of the self. But for Krishna, his devotees are more dear to him. But among them, these gopis are the ultimate limit. So therefore he says, Avgamat asam cha gopinam sarva bhakta shromanitvat. So these gopis are the topmost of all the devotees. All the various types of devotees here, sadhak bhakta, siddha bhakta, nitya siddha, etc. Among them, they are the supreme. Sarva bhakta shromanitvat. Atma ramasya api tasya anandadhikya artham eva etabhiramanam. So he is Atma Rama, but he gets so much bliss by being with the gopis and relishing their company, and they are doing service, and he is doing service to them. So that is the meaning of this Raman. This is the mutual reciprocation between Bhagwan and his devotees. That is why it is Rāsa-līlā, because this is the rasa, manifestation of various types of bhaktis. Nanu pramada satkotibhir akulita iti kramadipika adi agam drishtya satkoti sankhyaabhi stabhir ekatraiva ekdaeva ekasyeva tasya ramanam nopapadyate tatra. So now one can say, which doubt naturally comes, that how is it possible that he enjoyed with 1 billion gopis in one place at one time? This seems impossible. This is unbelievable. So he says, that's why the sloka says Yogeshwareshwara. And earlier in the beginning also, in the very first sloka also, it was said Yogamaya Upashrita. So Viksharantum Manaschakre Yogamaya Upashrita. So by taking shelter of Yogamaya, so by his Yogamaya, Agatan Ghatan Patiyasi, that which can make something which looks impossible as possible, that is what is called Maya or Yogamaya. So nothing is impossible for him. And this is also to show that don't think of him as an ordinary person. And don't compare this with anything which people experience in this material world. Because that's naturally that samskaras get activated, triggered, and then one thinks like that. So there is no comparison, absolutely. This is also the idea. So in Kram Deepika of Keshav Kashmiri, there is a mantra, and there it is written that there is Satkoti Sankhya. They saying, from where are you getting this number? 1 billion. So I said it is there in the mantra in Kram Deepika, Agam Drashtya. So how is it possible? He says Yogina. So yogis are like Saubhari Muni. What did Saubhari Muni did? He wanted to marry. So he went to Mathura from Sunrak. That is where he was, this village Sunrak. When you go to Lakut's village, on the way this village comes. That's where he was. So from there he walked to Mathura. And he went to the king. So king had 49 daughters. So they all wanted to marry him. He says, no problem. He became 49. And he married them. So that is Yogi means Saubhari. And Yogeshwara, Rudradaya. And Yogeshwara is like Shiva. And Tesamapi Ishwara is Krishna. So Yogi, Yogeshwara, and Yogeshwareshwara. So Saubhari Adaya Kaivyuham Kritva Eva Ramante Krishnastu Atarkya Charata Stambina. So yogis can expand their body by Kaivyuha. But Krishna does not expand by that yogic power. Because in Kaivyuha they are not having a different identity. Here he expands. It is also one Krishna only, but they can have different abhiman, different mood, different activities. In Kaya Vyuha that is not possible. So therefore, it is for this reason that Narada Rishi was also astonished. Although Narada also has yogic powers, but when he went to Dwarka and he saw that Krishna was marrying 16,000 girls, so then he was astonished that how is he doing it, because he knew that this cannot be done by yogic power. So he said, Chitram badeta dekena vapsha yugpat prithak griheshu dvashtrashram striyam eka udavahat. So it is so wonderful that Krishna ekena vapsha, with one body only, because although there are different places he was manifest, but it is still one Krishna. So at the same time, in different places, prithak griheshu, because you can also marry 16,000 in one place at the same time. Right? You can have more Brahmana chanting mantras. So in 16,000 houses at the same time Krishna married. So how is this possible? It means he has to be in 16,000 places simultaneously. So that is not Kaya Vivaha. So that is the significance of Yogeshwareshwara. So now he is going to describe their Rasa dance. We will continue tomorrow. Any questions? Malati?
Babaji?
Yeah. Yes.
And Babaji, were the queens, the 16,000 queens, also were not aware of each other's presence and relationship with Krishna, same as gopis?
Well, they knew that they also came together. They were aware that we are all wives of Krishna. It's not that they were kept, it was not some kind of a secret. Sometimes men have affair, they don't let the wife know. No, it was known to them that they are all married because he brought them together from Narkasura's prison and then married them. But each had their own palace. They were not in one place.
And also the yogic power to expand, just like Saravi Muni, into 46. Does it mean that at the same time, because he was one and he couldn't obviously perform different activities at the same time, does it mean that while he was doing one activity, but it was multiplied into many wives? So for example, he was eating, that means he was eating simultaneously in 46 manifestations, whereas Krishna was able to perform hundreds of different activities at the same time. That's the difference, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, Krishna could do different activities. It is described, it will come later on. Because Narada went and he observed, he was somewhere he was eating, somewhere he was meditating, somewhere he was playing with children, somewhere he was giving instructions, somewhere he was doing yajna. So he saw this. Malati?
Babaji, when he says that the gopis are Ladini Shakti of Krishna, does he only refer to the most excellent of these gopis? Because we know from previously that there are 4 groups, and there are the Municharis and the Shuddhicharis who are sadhana siddhas, so they are not Ladini Shakti.
Yes. Those are Jiva Shaktis.
So he only mentions the prominent ones and
Prominent means Nitya Siddhas.
even though the others were also there.
Yeah, they are the Jivas. Jiva Shakti. They are sadhana siddhas are Jivas.
But you wouldn't call them Ladini Shakti. So that's why I was wondering why he only says they are Ladini Shakti of Krishna.
Yeah, because they are the prominent ones. I mean, they are the majority.
Okay.
And the other ones also have Ladini Shakti.
Mm-hmm.
They also get Ladini Shakti. That's how you go there.
Yeah. They get it,
Yeah.
but they are not. Yeah.
These are vritti, but they also have Ladini potency.
Mm.
Tanvaji?
Babaji, since Lord Shiva is called Yogeshwara, so he must have something more than the Munis who can do Kaya Vivaha. So
Yes.
what is his, what is he able to do that? Because then Krishna is his Ishvara. So there is a hierarchy.
And he can destroy the universe. Takes 11 Rudra forms. It's not a simple job. Don't think that creating is tough, destroying is also equally tough. Try to break a room here. You need big tools, right? Making a road and then breaking takes effort.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay, Braj Kishori, you have something more?
Yeah, I just want to refine my question. So the queens of Dwaraka, they were aware of each other's presence and that they are married to Krishna. But while being with Krishna, were they aware that he's able to be at the same time simultaneously with others, or they thought he's with me and only for me at this moment?
No, they did not know that. Everyone thought that Krishna is with her only. That is also his Yogeshwaritva. Mohini?
Babaji, I have a follow-up question to Malati's question. So when Sadhana Siddhas were also there and who got Ladini Shakti, and Krishna is desiring to see their hidden mood and the desire to also dance with them. So this desire is only for the Nitya Siddha, or he is also desiring to see the mood of the Sadhana Siddhas?
For everybody. Okay. Stop.